Alright, what do we got? Demon's Lab. Sweet. Found their lab. His sword techniques look just like mine. Who is he? Why can't I remember? The battles. What happened to my body? Rejection of the body by the consciousness. You think too much, my Lady Harkin. You are so beautiful, yet. Get back, you sleaze. Only the souls of the warriors I have devoured sleep in my bosom. Do you want to know what that means? I don't, to be honest. Those words are too strong for me. I came to serve you and protect the Darkness Tear. I don't need your dumb ideas. All I need is my blade. As you wish. Please take care of the Darkness Tear. Is it Tear or Tear? I still haven't figured it out. It's got to be Tear, because the other one's a Tear. You and the Darkness Tear share a similar beauty. And it kind of looks like a tear drop. Death you bosom. I spilled water on it. Take that. Prisoner. It's like even the characters in the game don't understand the dialogue. It's like, do you want to know what that means? No, I don't. Your words are too strong for me. I don't think I've saved since I... What the... This is crazy looking. I don't think I saved since I fought that boss. Hope there's a save point here somewhere. Alright, let's see if we can learn this one. Also, it costs 16 MP. Let's try this one again. Hey! Oh, never mind, that's just a crit. You sunk my battleship. No. There's still another room in there. Why do our characters look like a Funko Pop on a shelf when they're going down the elevator? Also one left over. In a world where 6-7 is taken over, one game dares to say cheese. Oh, a new arm? Bazooka acquired. Yeah, it's over. Okay, it sucks right now, but... Yeah, meanwhile, Borderlands 4 has, like, the same humor as every other Borderlands game, but worse. And they're like, this is great. I feel like games have been kind of not creatively bankrupt, but humor bankrupt. I don't know what a good word to use is. Comically bankrupt. I feel like games have been comically bankrupt for a while. Like, especially AAA games. I think indie games have hit some funny stuff. Mostly, like, ironic humor. Because they're indie games and they can get away with it, but what was the last AAA game you've played that was like genuinely funny? Because like when I think about funny video games, and I know Portal isn't really AAA, but when I think of like big games that were also genuinely funny, I think of like Borderlands 2 and like Portal 2. Which are both pretty old at this point. I can't really think of too many like modern games that are genuinely funny. A lot of it's just terrible millennial humor of just like... they all have that same exact... oh god, what is that? I hate it. I think that's a recolor of like the first enemy in the game, but it's freaking terrifying. That like almost like Family Guy humor of saying something like blatantly obvious and then like over explaining it. And it's just like, that's the humor of like every AAA game for the past 10 years. It's just that like, I don't even know how to explain it other than just saying millennial humor, but I think you know what I mean. I'm trying to think of a good example. See if I can Google. Saints Row is probably a good example. I see a lot of people talking about like Borderlands and stuff, but people aren't giving like exact examples. This guy said, like, take a serious scene and then insert unnecessary jokes, sarcasm, and quips like, well, that just happened. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Yeah, man, excited for you to get into it. I think you'll really like the enemy intel system. I'm always up to fight intel. I'm always down to fight knowledge. I hate knowledge. Knowledge is overrated. We here at 4A Productions hate knowledge. How's it going, Ro? Welcome. But yeah, I think, ooh, what is that? It's a weapon? Whoa! Can you start my Friday right? Well, it's a little early for that, ain't it? It's like 10 o'clock in the morning, brother. Nice. Killing it. Killing it with the card pulls. He's on fire. I'm going to need you to open some of my packs for me. As soon as I get packs, which is never. But yeah, I kind of agree with Retro. I don't think that games really try to be humor games anymore. Like indie games do, obviously, but I don't think AAA games really try to be humor games. I think they try to be the same thing every other game is, and then they just throw in humor. You know? Like, oh, we'll be a hero shooter, but then we'll throw in like a character that's goofy. We'll be a battle royale, but then we'll throw in a character that says, I like to ride zip lines. I love loot. You know, and that's their way of like being funny. And then they can throw that character in like all the ads to be like, look at how funny our game is. But it's literally only that one character. And I mean, that's not a bad thing. Comic relief characters have always been a thing and are still good, but yeah, you don't really see too many games, or really any games, being humor first. Back in the day, we had stuff like, what was it, King's Quest? And like Portal. And like, even, I would even make the argument maybe Borderlands, where like humor was a very big part of the game. Very big part of its identity was the humor. There was that one game that just came out recently. What was it called? The one with the really weird guns. Do you remember this? It was kind of Borderlands-esque, but the guns were like, the guns had like faces and talked to you, and it was like really weird. You know the game I'm talking about? And it was like aliens. High on Life, yeah. Yeah, High on Life seemed like a return to humor first, but I heard it wasn't really that great. Like, it was okay, but I don't think it hit that big. Nice. I needed this. Yeah, I think it's kind of enough just to throw in a comic relief character and call it a day. Whoa. What in the Witch Dock and Stoker? You know what? You know what games are actually humor first and maybe not an indie game? I don't really know how big the budget is for them, but the South Park games. Which I think the newest one was pretty decent. Buh. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say that Metal Gear is humor first, but I would say that humor is a pretty big part of its identity. You know, it's definitely it's more than just, oh, there's a funny character, or oh, there's a funny moment. Like, I feel like humor is weaved into the entire dialogue. Like, practically every other scene, you know, something funny, and even like the enemies are like funny because they're stupid or doing something stupid. You'll walk in and there'll be like an enemy going to the bathroom, or like, you know what I mean? Like, there's always like just little funny moments all over the place. When the darkness tier is complete, Fogaya will be ours. Goodbye, humans. But you know, that leads to a pretty good point. Would you say that the newer Metal Gear Solids have as much humor as the old ones? He just gave me like every ailment in the book. That's cool. Especially since you can't heal. There's no like Asuna. Is there as much though? Because to me, without playing them, it seems like the newer Metal Gear Solids are way more serious. It wouldn't have as much like, yeah. So that's my point. Is like games have teetered away from humor, and Metal Gear Solid is like a perfect example of it in its own series. It's like gotten less and less about the humor. It's still there, but yeah. I think it might be better just to let Cecilia die, because like, how am I going to heal all these ailments? Oh, she just healed all her ailments because she got the condition green. That works, I guess. You understand why? Why Metal Gear changed, or why all of the games have changed? You came to take the darkness tier. Do you really think you can? I think that in general, writing has just gotten worse, to be honest. I think, yes, realism seems to be more important nowadays. Well, actually, I don't know. Nowadays, realism doesn't even matter anymore. So I don't know. But I mean, you have games like God of War and stuff that have humor, but are also written really well, that have like a perfect balance. I just don't think every studio can do that. I don't think studios have good enough writers, and between writing strikes and trying to spend less and less money on writing and anything that isn't making money, Why pay our writers when we can pay our skin developing team to make more skins? I think it's not worth the hassle. Oh, I finally got it. Soul Breaker has been mastered. And I think it just auto-killed him. Humor's riskier. It costs more money. It might fail. Why do that when you could just put in a banana skin? That's the replacement for humor now. Why write actual good humor when you can just like put a banana skin in the game and be like, look, he's in a banana suit. Research with the teardrop has led to the discovery of an ultimate weapon against the Guardians. Why are they giving us all this information? Yeah, so it's just a fatal attack. Now I want to learn this because it's 16 MP and we learned it from that boss. So it's probably really strong. Human experimentation! No! Okay, it only gave him 3. But they're bad. I mean, it kind of goes back to what I've said a lot about the early 90s, or I guess mid-90s, when games like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro were coming out. Guilty Blade. I don't know what that did, but it was cool. Studios weren't just willing to take more risks, but they had to take more risks. They had to create a game that was going to stand out. They didn't have a legacy of decades and decades of IPs and a huge market. They had a tiny market. They were a tiny team. No one knew their name. They had to make something that was going to stand out and be like, boom. And that's where some of the best IPs happened. That's where Crash happened, Spyro happened, Sly Cooper happened, Metal Gear happened, you know, because they were trying to make something that, oh, it's a group attack. They were trying to make something that was different. And you get these like incredibly stylized games like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Whereas nowadays, they make a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and all of the soul has been sucked out of it. And it's just the gameplay of a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and the skins of a Fortnite. You know, it doesn't have any of the edge and like reason that people loved Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, because it was a dip into that skater culture of the 90s. Instead, it's just a clean video game that tries to do all the things that video games do. But that was not their intention at all when they made it originally. That originally they were trying to tap into that game or skater culture. We scientists are working on the latest weapons. You will be our next guinea pigs. Yeah, I mean, you had to. You had to actually, like, come up with a plan and stick to it. I mean, we all know it, but games are just an assembly line now. For better or for worse. Sometimes that ends up being a good thing. Sometimes you get a really well-crafted game out of it, but either way, they're assembly lines now. They start with what's going to make money, what's popular right now, what's going to make money, how do we optimize it to make it work. And then somewhere along the road, if we're lucky, it gets some sauce. It gets somebody on the team who's passionate about something. It gets some culture, it gets some detail, but that's always an afterthought. That's never where it starts. And that's why indie games are taking over, because indie games start with the passion, and then the game happens. Because it has to be that way. They don't have a studio of 100 people. It has to be a passion project. Kind of waiting for Rudy to die. Yeah. Oh, he's just stuck at 1 HP. I feel like something happens here. Ambushed. Buh. There we go. He looks still poisoned. Okay. Nice dodge. Yeah, you know, you look at this game, and like, it was never a question of will a Western style RPG sell. It was never a question. They didn't sit down and think like, you know what people would love? A JRPG about cowboys. Like, there was no focus group where they were like, what do you guys want to see in an RPG? And 80% of the people that took the survey said, we want more cowboys. You know, it was a group of people that were like, what if we took a JRPG and made it literally Western? And then they ran with that idea, and they did everything they could to make that idea work and be their own idea and be their own IP that was different than everything else that was out. And there's no way this game would have so much sauce if it weren't for a team that was actually passionate about the idea in the first place. Because there was no blueprint. They couldn't look at DayZ and be like, let's do that, but tweak one little thing, which is what like every video game is now. Every video game now is, let's take Fortnite, but tweak this one thing. Let's take Apex Legends and tweak this one thing. Let's take God of War and tweak this one thing. Which, hey, sometimes that works. That's a good question. I don't really know. I say that a Western style RPG was a unique concept, but to be honest, I couldn't tell you if there's one before this. Maybe there was one and it just wasn't as well known. I'm sure somebody had to have tried it, right? I don't think I'd be willing to bet that no game went this far with it, though. I don't think any game pre-Wild Arms did like a sci-fi in the West style, like to this degree of like aliens and crazy laboratories and demons and like all this crazy sci-fi stuff on top of a Western theme. But maybe, I don't know. I mean, it was a maybe not popular trope, but it was a trope that existed in like novels and stuff, I think. And maybe even movies. So I don't know, someone must have tried it. How's it going, Joe? Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to like I think it's easy to fall into the mentality of like everything old is better and everything has to be the way it used to be. Like, I'm not saying that it can't work, you know, like there's been plenty of games that have gone through the modern way of making video games and have turned out to be some of the best video games ever. But it's just a general way that the industry is going that is so different. And it leads to a lot of... It leads to games just feeling different. It just feels like... I think when a game like this came out in 97, people were like, wow, that's a pretty interesting, different type of game. And then when E33 comes out a year ago, people are like, this is going to change the industry forever. You know what I mean? Like, E33 is not as different as the games coming out now as this was to the games coming out then. But it's more shocking nowadays to see a game like that than it was in 97. In 97, they could release something like Metal Gear, and yes, it was incredible, and yes, everyone loved it, but it wasn't because it was so different. But nowadays, something comes out that's different, and it's like, it feels like it's challenging the industry. You know what I mean? Because so many games fall into the same pipeline now. In 97, pardon the dad joke, it was the Wild West. It was the Wild West back then. You came out with something like crazy different, and it was cool and unique, and people enjoyed it because it was unique, but it wasn't like shocking that weird stuff came out. Nowadays, it's shocking if a bigger company takes a long time to make a game that's even somewhat unique. You know? And, you know, E33 is like, you decide if it's an indie game or not, but regardless, it's a bigger project. And, yeah, it's like shocking. You only grab that Omni chair. Do I need coffee too? I'll grab coffee and I'll grab Omni chair. But yeah. Since everything falls into a pipeline now, it feels crazy when something comes along that's different. And it wasn't like that back then. It was still cool when different things came out, and you can still give them credit for being different, but it wasn't as shocking because everyone was throwing stuff against the wall and seeing if it stuck. That was just the way the industry was. And the more different and unique you could be, and the more culturally shocking you could be, stuff like GTA even, stuff like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, the more people latched onto it. Anyway, coffee, chair, special guest, the 2 VHS set of the Titanic. ID code. Cannot find matching code. Oh my god, I just realized the door opening sound effect. This terminal will retrieve information from the Demon Archives. Do you want to turn it on? The revival of the underwater golem Leviathan is complete. Ammunition equipped, ready for battle. Huh? Was I supposed to do that? Please choose parameter. Seven out of the 8 golems have been retrieved. Implement working golems to the front lines. The model Barbados was found to be Much concern for the golem still posing a threat. Door lock ID code. Demon Gate. Oh, just did this again. Beep, bop. Alright, get rid of this frickin' witch doctor. I like the crazy status ailments. Wow. At this point, I actually have enough weapons with Rudy that I could probably start using his guns in regular fights instead of saving them. I mean, I probably always did, but when you don't know how long a dungeon is, it's hard to, like, waste ammo. But now I got, like, a ton of guns. Plus, I haven't really needed to, so. We have discovered the energy of the teardrop can be reversed to create an anti-life force. The experiment continues. Ether analysis complete. Demon Gate. Correcting vector. Gate generator at 20%. What's happening? The teardrop is resonating. It's as if it's afraid. Because it's a fake. It contains the darkest of souls within it. Hearken, we meet again, and this time we share a common sword technique. Many tales we have shared, but the warrior needs no words. We let our swords do the talking. Well, I gotta use her own move against her, right? It's only fair. That sound effect, like, spooked me. Oh. Poop damage. That was cool. What? Okay, I think... I think these twin orbs work like... What was the Pokemon attack? Like Furious... cut or something? Fury cut? Fury slash? Fury... claws? Fury... something? Where like you use it and then it hits a random amount of times. Because I have not leveled this thing up much at all. It only has 50 attack power. But sometimes it just pops off and does 1,000,000 damage. So I think that's how it works. Uh-oh. Okay. I thought that would do mega damage. Summon Guardian. Actually, no, I can't. She's got the Death Guardian still. I haven't tried this thing yet, I don't think. It had no target. Hopefully it doesn't kill us. Anti-magic has been activated. What? Is that like a field effect? Like, can I not use magic now? Well, it looks like I can. Should I try the bazooka? It's only got 45 attack power. High perform missile. What does that mean? High perform missile. Holy crap, what was that? It had like the closing door sound effect from Doom and like 9 other sound effects all going off at once. Has been a while. Speaking of Pokemon. Rocket launcher. What have I witnessed? We cannot give you the Darkness Tear or Lady Harkin. You'll have to come after me if you want them. Why even tell us that? So what was my revenge all about? I should have known that sword technique. The real fool who couldn't face reality was me. You probably already know, but I'll tell you anyway when I'm ready. Our characters are just like, okay. I see those hidden chests. Terminal will retrieve information from Demon Archives. You want to turn on. Priority 1, recovery of the Kadingle. There's no way it's called Kadingle. Like, it's probably pronounced a different way. There's no shot it's called Kadingle. That was sealed by the Guardians. What? Wait, that's it. The Kadingle. I disagree. There's no way. Okay, well, this was just a random dungeon I ran into, and I just, like, did something important, so that's cool. I was just kind of swimming around, looking for stuff. Something here. Something secretive here. Goblins. Why are there enemies from the beginning of the game here? Isolated guild. It's the doctor. I've been living here as a hermit for the last decade, researching the higher forms of magic. Now I want to share what I have discovered with everyone. I'm thinking of moving my lab to Adelheid. I believe there is no limit to the magic of elemental magic, the power of elemental magic. I'm willing to work even harder to prove this. And he just warps away. I like how this guy has lived here for years and years and years. And then I show up and he's like, I'm thinking about going to Adelheid, and then just poof. Okay, well, this guy... Wait, what? Oh my god. We actually just found tier 2 magic. That's I mean, we're so far into the game at this point that I just figured tier 2 magic wasn't a thing. That's crazy. And I can dissolve, like, all this crap, too. And get all new spells. Oh, we're going to be here a minute. We're going to be here a minute. Because I don't want any of this crap. I don't use any of these spells, like, ever. I'll keep field, because I don't even really know what it does. To spell, keep. Slow down is really good. Quick is fine. Revive's good. Shield's good. Armor down good. Prison, I don't think that it's ever going to work on a boss, so. Analyze is kind of useless too, but... Alright, that's fine. I'll keep those. Okay, what do we got here? We got increased defensive power of the party. Okay, well... Never mind. We're getting rid of Protect. We're getting rid of Protect and Shield because we're going to get better versions. High Shield. Counter rate up 25% ally. Reflect magic field. Revive and full HP. Double attack power. What do you mean double attack? What do you mean? What do you mean? Bomb counter? What the... Guard using a dummy. Freaking substitute. Recover... Oh my god. This is crazy. This is like all the spells I've wanted the whole game. Decrease encounter rate. Prevent fatal blows. Warp to a known town. Does that take my ship with me? Or do I have to go back to where I was to get my ship? Cure abnormal status. Bro, this is like, what? This is everything we've ever wanted. Avoid exhaustion. Anti-magic field. Lock status state. Lock status state? Of the whole party? Recover full HP ally. Holy crap. I could have gotten this earlier too. Oh my god. I mean, you would have to kind of go out of your way though, right? You'd have to kind of know to do it. You'd have to ignore what they're telling you to do and go get them. But Earth Magic Group. All 7 attributes attack? Huh? Well, I guess the question is like, can you get to the outer sea earlier? I don't think the guy would have told us the name of the Guardian before Mother. So I'm not sure if you're right about that. Absorb MP enemy. Lower HP and ability of enemy? What? Erase attribute all enemies? So it's like group dispel. Fire attack. When would you ever need that? Fire. I guess there was the goblins in the one dungeon that put like protect on everybody. Fire attack magic group. ... question mark. We got to get that. Random magic effect. That sounds horrible. Absorb HP, evil attack, wind attack, seal in banned area. Heck does that mean? Holy attack, attack magic, all that. That's like a better blast. Okay, holy crap. There's like 9 million spells I want. Wait a second. Is there no... There's no magic defense group, is there? So maybe I shouldn't have gotten rid of shield. There is reflect though. But then that reflects your heal probably. Dude, this would be really good on Rudy when he uses Defender. Okay, well I have to get double attack power. Hit the hiccups. Bomb counter, I don't think that is. Guard using a dummy. Recover partial HP part. I want this for sure. There's so many AoE attacks and all I can do is throw potion berries. Remedy. That's not... That's not what I think it should be called. Decrease encounter rate. Yes, please. Invisible. Yeah, it's awesome. Like, you can just try out everything. And you can also get rid of all your old bad spells. I guess I'll get this. Definitely need this. This is like, holy cow, this changes the whole game. Wow, so restore is like remedy, and remedy is like restore. I guess anti-magic field would also maybe be good. Cover full HP ally. I mean, I already heal a lot, so I don't know if this is necessary. This also seems really freaking good. Okay, kind of like to try the all 7 attribute attack, because that sounds crazy. Rainbow, nice. Yeah, I was saying earlier, like, with the customization of the game, I forgot to mention you could name all the spells, too. Absorb MP seems really good. Lower HP and ability. Like, what does that mean? Cook 'em. Call it cook 'em. Banish. I gotta do the question mark spell. I gotta know what this question mark spell is. Lucky shot. Probably just does random damage. All these high-level spells are group, too. I might try the Holy One. Saint. Hit him with the Saint. I think I'll just do... Earth seems kind of useless. I think I'll do Wind. And Thunder. Alright. Would you guys like to try my new potion? Oh no. A gruesome taste and smell spreads through their mouths. We're dead. Did that heal us? I think that healed us. Also, Cecilia has 234 MP. Whoa. Oh, we just hit the jackpot.